G'day guys, Mr. Bennett here. Today we're going to be talking about the term fluorescence. Now obviously you've seen things fluoresce and they look pretty attractive. Certainly if you've seen glow sticks and that sort of stuff, they're pretty awesome fun. The process behind it is pretty simple, and hopefully you've watched the other video which I downloaded. Now the guy's voice isn't very interesting, but I think there's lots of interesting information on the video that's prior to this one here. Now, what happens in fluorescence essentially is you excite an electron from the ground state, and that will go to some excited state up here, right? And then what happens is the electron will fall down, because what happens with electrons is they don't really want to stay in excited state, so therefore what will happen is they will fall down to the most stable state they can. So they'll go down via a series of transitions back to the ground state if they can, if that's allowed. Alright, so there are a whole range of different transitions that can occur through here. Obviously you can go any of these particular transitions. Now every time it does one of these, what's going to happen is it's going to lose a photon of energy. Alright, so every time it does this sort of transition, we produce a photon of energy is ejected, because we have to have conservation of energy. So fluorescence basically occurs when the excited electron falls back down to the ground state via a series of transitions, and those are going to be obviously dependent on how high the electron got first stimulated, and then depending what's in the electron shell as to how far it can go down. But every time it does one of these transitions, it produces a photon. So here you can see how many different photons of light that are being produced. Now in the other video it talks about doing either using chemical transitions to get the electrons up into the higher state so it can fluoresce. So pretty interesting stuff, but simply what you need to know is fluorescence is the process by which an electron falls back to the ground state via a series of transitions between the energy shells. Alright, so that's really what actually happens there. And every time it falls, it produces a photon. And that's what you're seeing with the fluorescent light, that process. Alright, so hopefully this actually makes sense to you. If not, certainly catch up with me and we'll go through it in class.